Welcome to LCD Digital Signage, Video Walls Configuration, Inputs, Display IDs, Tiling, and Picture IDs. What is an LCD video wall? It is any installation that is more than one LCD display in height. Walls are always referred to in width by height, the number of LCD displays horizontally by the number vertically. Examples such as 3x3 as pictured here, or 3x2, 4x4, or any combination. The LCDs may be mounted either landscape or portrait. And for more on LCD display mounting, view the video titled LCD Digital Signage DMP8124 Installation. This video may be found on www.daktronics.com by selecting Support in the top right corner, then clicking on Videos in the blue bar at the top of the page. Search for DMP8124. The system includes the LCD displays, display mounts, the DMP8124, Venus Control Suite, and any required cables or other equipment. Typically, content will tile across the displays as opposed to the same image repeated on each individual display. Let's take a look at how to make this happen. In any video wall configuration, individual LCD displays are assigned a set ID number called a screen ID number on the riser drawing, a tile ID number, and a picture ID number. For example, in a 3x3 video wall, the displays are numbered as shown here. As the LCD displays are mounted to the wall, one display is attached to the player, not necessarily display 1, and the other displays are daisy-chained together. The cable connected from player to display is HDMI. Cables connected between the subsequent displays are DisplayPort and DB9. Note that cabling for a 4x4 video wall is slightly different with a repeated player output. In this case, two HDMI cables connect the player to display number 5 and display number 13. Video wall configuration, setting the input for each display. The following steps include information from LG manuals. Refer to the specific manual for more details. Using the power button on the remote, power on the LCD. Ensure that each display has the correct input source using the Input button on the remote control shown in yellow on this screen. Click Agree on the user agreement. Set the normal configuration options for your location and click Next. Set your network to wired Ethernet or wireless and click Next. Select OK on the pop-up window. Set the input. The default of HDMI is correct only for the displays receiving the signal from the player. All other displays should have the input changed to DisplayPort. Click Done, and the input loading screen will appear. The display will then show the PC HDMI 1 screen. Setting display IDs. You may follow the LG manual for steps to set the set ID number for each display. Using the remote, select the Settings button. To browse, use the blue directional arrows. After selecting Settings, select the General heading from the left, the one with the wrench icon. Under the General heading, click on Set ID. Set the ID for each LG display. Refer to the schematic drawing to help guide you. Drawings are labeled with the screen ID and display numbers. Under the General heading, click on Set ID, then using the remote and the numbers across the bottom of the screen, set the desired ID on each display, clicking on Enter to save the selection. Repeat for additional displays. Use the Back or Return button on the Set ID screen to return to the General screen. Click the Back or Return button again to exit. Picture ID. In just a moment, we'll begin setting the wall up to tile the content. You'll use the remote to edit each display. Use this information to understand how you move the remote from one display to the next. If you are unsure of which display you are adjusting, press the Picture ID On button on the remote to populate the large numbers on the displays. The Picture ID in the red box designates which display the remote is currently controlling. To move to the next display, long press on the Picture ID On button. Press the Picture ID Off button to use the remote control to control all the displays at once. When the Picture ID number matches the Set ID number, you can control whichever monitor you want in multi-display format. In our example, you can see the Picture ID is showing 1. This means you are controlling display 1 with the remote. Set Tile IDs. With the remote, select the Settings button, shown in blue on this screen. Then in the Easy Setting menu, click on the Video Wall icon. On the Video Wall Settings page, make sure the tile mode is set to On. Next, edit the tile mode settings for the configuration you have. In our example, we are using a 3x3 wall and are currently configuring the tile mode for the centermost display. The settings would be Row 3, Column 3, and Tile ID 5. All walls are configured rows by columns with the actual count. However, for a 3x2 wall, you would configure that as a 3x3 to ensure the aspect ratio of the content appears as expected. Click Natural Mode to On. Click the Frame Control to On. Click the Scan Inversion to On. Check that the tile ID is correct for each display. And there you have it, our 3x3 tiled video wall.